of the esports generation. It's been built by us, but it's for you.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
League of Legends is a fast-paced, competitive game combining the tactical intensity of a real-time strategy with the character development and ability-based combat of an RPG. 2 teams of 5 battle it out with one ultimate goal: to push into the enemy base and destroy their nexus. You control a powerful champion with a unique set of abilities. Since every game starts fresh at level 1, you get the chance to play a wide range of roles and champions from game to game. Each champion has a distinct play style and can fulfill different roles on a team. Fighters get up close and personal with their opponents. Mages cast powerful spells from afar. Tanks hold down the front lines. With over 100 available champions, things get even more interesting as the many possible team compositions come together. Because to destroy the Nexus and take the win, you're going to need a little help from your friends. Across the map are a number of objectives that your team will have to bring down on the way to victory. There are 3 paths to the Nexus, known as lanes. In each lane, minions for both teams push forward in waves. When killed by players, minions grant gold and experience. Experience lets you level up your abilities, and gold can be used to purchase items that enhance various aspects of your champion. Each lane also has a set of static defenses, 3 turrets and an inhibitor. Turrets are dangerous when attacked alone, but taking them down will bring you one step closer to the Nexus. Destroying an inhibitor floods that lane with more powerful minions to aid you in your push. In between the lanes lies what's known as the jungle. Here you'll find neutral monsters that grant gold and, in some cases, special buffs when slain. But most dangerous of all are your opponents, who could be lurking around any corner waiting for you to make a wrong move. Grouping up to push down a turret, roaming the map for kills, plotting an ambush from the jungle. League is a game of teamwork and strategic depth, and there are many paths to victory. Working together to break the base and destroy the Nexus is just one of the things that keeps players coming back. There's always some aspect of your game to improve. New champions to learn. New item builds to experiment with. New plays to make. A sophisticated matchmaking system places you in games with players of the same skill level. Whether you're brand new or a veteran pushing for promotion into the next tier of ranked competitive leagues. The highest matchmaking tier, Challenger, offers the most talented players a direct path into the professional esports scene, where the upper limits of competitive play are pushed to new heights every week. With multiple game modes, frequent balance updates, and new champions coming out on a regular basis, League is always evolving and growing. New champs, new friends, new strats. Every game starts at level 1, and every game's a new experience. See you on the fields of justice.
Hello, welcome back to the Play Like a Pro EGX 2014 League of Legends experience put on by Gfinity. You lot in the mood? You ready? You ready? Good, good, good. Right, the way that this works is here at EGX in London in Earls Court, we're going to pick 10 people from this crowd to get into these booths and play like a pro. Fantastic soundproof booths, all the top equipment, streamed live on Twitch, casted by two absolute geniuses sitting to my right, and we're going to have some fun. But we're not going to have some fun until we've made some noise and we've got in some trouble. My name's Martin. You'll have seen Brycey doing this earlier on. We've given Brycey 5 minutes off to go and get some more hair gel. Quite clearly, not an issue for me. Brycey does things the right way. I like to get us in trouble and get told off. So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to make a horrendous amount of noise, get warmed up, and have some fun. Ready? You quite clearly didn't understand what I meant there, did you? We're going to make a horrendous amount of noise, and then we're going to have some fun. Are you ready? There we go. I only had to ask twice. It was cool. Right, we're going to give some T-shirts away quickly before we do this. Right, I'm going to divide you into 2 teams. I love the fact that you want one already, but you're going to earn it. No one gets anything for free around here. But I want to split you into 2 teams. So either side of the tree. Get either side. You might not have seen the tree at home. We've got a great big tree. Who wouldn't? We do. Right, so either side of the tree, and then I'm going to chuck these T-shirts out. But you've got to earn it. You're going to be split into 2 teams. The way this works is I will throw a T-shirt out into the crowd of the team that makes the most noise on the count of 3, right? So when I count to 3, I'll point at your team. You go mad. If you make more noise than them, someone in that crowd gets a T-shirt. Got it? Got it? Yeah? Anyone need me to write it down with crayons or anything? Are we ready? Love you lot! God, you're much better than the last group. Not really. They were quite cool. Right, okay. So I'm going to point to you lot first. You've got to go batshit crazy. Make more noise than these guys. If you do it, you get a T-shirt. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That's all right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, you lot win it. Just. Only just. Hey, oh, there you go. Hey. Right, that's number 1. Let's go again. Ready to go again? Can you go 2-0 up? Can you get back in the game? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. I like it. It's a draw. Now, I said earlier on that I'm quite fond of getting told off, getting into a little bit of trouble. What I want to happen is, in this room, we make so much noise that our neighbours complain. Our neighbours got Oculus over there, those guys, they're cool. Loads of people over here, they're very nice as well. We've got Pizza Express behind us. I want someone to walk in here in 5 minutes and ask us to keep the bloody noise down, all right? But I need your help to do that. We're going to do the same game. I'm going to point to you, you got 1 chance. I'm going to point to you, you got 1 chance. Then we're going to do it together and I'll decide who gets a T-shirt. Ready? But I want you to go spare. Go spare. Go literally mad. Tear your hair out so that you look like this. It's not a good look, I appreciate that. But ready, are you ready? Good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Everyone all together. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There we go. Oh, God, you're tiring me out. Right, should we get into the game? Right, I've got to pick 10 people. This is going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Right, well, how should we pick them now? Let's see if we've got any class acts. Let's see if we've got any really good players. We've got any diamond players in here? We've got any diamond players in here? Anyone diamond? Anyone diamond? Are you telling lies? You promise me? You promise me? All right, come around the side then, you can get involved. Right, I need another diamond player. I need another diamond player. What about you? What about you with a snazzy headset? What about you? You want to play? Get round here. Get round here, you're playing. Are you? Wow. Congrats. Right, so when you go into that booth, you come into this booth here, dude. Ooh. Yeah, I'll come this way, buddy. Go into that one there. There, get in there, that's it. Okay, right, now I want to find some really cool people. Who's cool? Who is seriously cool? I don't know. Who is cool? You pretty cool? What? Hold on, let's find out. Let's find out why. What makes you cool?
Because my surname is the Swaggity.
The Swaggity? That's got to be a lie. Who else is cool around here? Who's cool? You're pretty cool. Why are you cool?
I have an Assassin's Creed hat.
Assassin's Creed hat, that'll do for me. Come around that side, go in that booth. You can play. Don't go that side. It's cost about £4.7 million. Very rare ivy. Right, who else is cool around this way? Who's cool? I don't know. Let's see. Have we got any cool people at the back? You with the hat. Come on, Aruba. I remember Aruba. It's not his name. That's where he's from. Right, go into this booth here, please. Get involved. Right, so we've got cool people. We've got some class acts. Who else? Brycey did something earlier on. People were showing their war faces. I loved it. Warren, come and pick. What we're going to do, Warren's going to walk up amongst you, show him your war face. I want you to frighten him, really scare him, get angry with Warren as he walks past you and he'll pick someone. Jesus. All right, easy on the barrier, easy on the barrier. Mate, are you all right? You look really angry then. Is everything okay? Yeah, good. Okay, you're angry, good. Okay, we need to do that this side. What one do you want to go in? Get in that one then. Zach, how many we got in there? Zach, how many we got? 2 more? How many do you need? You need 2 more. Oh, you need 3 more. Okay, cool. We need 3 more. We need someone to go in there. I love the level of effort you've gone to stand on something or someone. You can come in here. Come in this booth here. Come in the red booth. This is cool. All the way at the back, up you come, up you come. Make sure you go around the side though. Please don't try and high jump over the ivy. All right. You've got the bald gene? Are you admitting you're losing your hair? Come here. Now come and play League of Legends, come on. Any man that could admit he's losing his hair live on stage and live on stream is a good man, in my opinion. What? There's some people with some issues. Yeah, jump in there, and then we'll fall there. And you need 2. Right, we've got 2 more spots left. I can't really hear. All right, let me see. Why have you got a sword? You stole it. Come in. You're my kind of troublemaker. Come in. We've got all sorts in the booth now. We've got some cool people, some people who can really play League of Legends, and a couple of thieves. In you go. Careful. Zach, he is not to be trusted. He's a thief. But a nice guy. Right, we've got 1 more spot, I think. We've got 1 more? 1 more spot. Right. I've got 1 more spot. I want to see someone who really wants it. Who really wants it? Who really wants it? You. Up you come, mate. Up you come. Up you come. Go around the side though, dude. That's it, mate. That's the one. Right, okay. We're going to get these guys into a game. Don't remember, we turn this over very quickly. In you go, mate. Just go and see Zach in there and get you sorted out. We turn these games over very, very quickly. Loads of chances to play. We're here all day. Stick around, watch the game. I'm going to go and dry my bald, sweating head and hand over to the fantastically talented caster team.
Hello again, guys. I'm Kieran Nick Low here with Aaron Sona Chamberlain, and we're here for Game 3 of Play Like a Pro here at the Gfinity stage at EGX. Excited, Sona?
Always excited. Apparently we're going to see a jungle Teemo in this game.
A jungle Teemo.
Someone's already called it out in the pre-game lobby, so I'm very much looking forward to that.
I am so ready for
planting those
Teemo.
Mushrooms in the jungle.
Legit works out. Blind the AD carry, so counter ganks just do not matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter at all. We should just be getting into the game any moment now. We've had 2 impressive games today, both of them over 40 minutes long.
2 crazy games.
Yeah,
First
really
game that
exciting.
we had went all the way to 56. I think the game that Stress and Pulse had was pretty back and forth too. So, how have you had fun over these 3 days, Sona? I've had a great time.
It's been incredible fun. I mean, we're here casting most of the time, but we have been able to go across to some of the other booths. Minecraft, of course, across the way, and Oculus Rift just right behind us. It's great fun seeing all of the people here, and it gets so crowded so quickly.
Obviously, over the dark side, you've got Dota 2 over there, so no one cares about Dota 2.
Anyway, we are into the picks and bans, just waiting on the blue team to ban out their first champion. It's going to be Fiora. Obviously, a targeted ban against you there, X-Scoundrel.
Oh, because I'm even playing in the game, but Fiora main only. Tristana being banned out here, so looking forward to seeing what we've got on the board though.
Well, Tristana's just one of those really strong AD carries these days, isn't she? We saw her a lot in Worlds recently. We've seen her a few times in the last couple of days as well play here. She's just really, really strong with that exceptionally long range as you get into the later game.
Nidalee being banned out now. It's odd, I haven't seen her banned since the nerf. She had a pretty hard
very hard
nerf hammer swung to her face, so not as strong anymore, especially in the early game.
Yeah.
But a moderate quality of life change that now when you pounce to a hunted target, it's actually just a 1.5 second cooldown on your pounce. So you can continuously chase. You don't have to kill those minions to get the cooldown on your pounce anymore.
Yasuo and Jax being banned out as well. Jax we've seen banned out a lot. He's not as strong as he used to be, but he is very difficult to deal with unless you have a coordinated team. So it kind of makes sense.
I definitely think in lower skill tiers, it's harder to deal with Jax because of just the kit that he has. the higher you go, the more easily you realise you can pick an early dominant champion in the top lane.
Like Renekton, for example.
Well, yeah, I mean, Renekton's obviously falling out of favour as well at the moment, but anybody that has a high early game damage in that top lane, Maokai does well against him. All the sort of these tanky teleport-based jungle top lanes all do very well against Jax now because he has a very low base health compared to what he used to. So
Syndra is the final ban here, coming out from the purple side. They don't want to face up against those balls. Dark Sphere can be very threatening as well as you get into the sort of mid and late game. Who do you think we're going to see picked up here? There are quite a few champions left available for the blue side to...
honestly, I could not predict. I've seen a whole cacophony of first pick champions come out. I really hope it's not Master Yi jungle because I'm sick of seeing that. But again, there's a lot of what you'd probably call OP meta stuff up on the board. Zillion, Maokai, all available.
Lee Sin, all of these strong champions are still around.
Yeah, I would love to see some great Lee Sin play. We saw some great Lee Sin play last game, and we haven't had the chance to properly cast it. So I'll be looking forward to seeing if anything does get picked up here. Oh, it's going to be that Maokai.
Yeah, Maokai's so strong in the top lane. Twisted Advance keeps you on top of your enemy laner, and then of course you get so much health regeneration from your passive as well. Really difficult to deal with in lane.
He has just received concurrent nerfs in the last 2 patches, so he's had the duration on his
Ventral
Maelstrom reduced to 10 seconds maximum channeling. He's also had his base damage on Ventral Maelstrom really hurt, so the maximum damage you can do with it has been cut off quite readily as well. Mundo going in that top lane now, and it is a Master Yi jungle.
The joys of Master Yi jungle.
I spoke too soon.
Maybe we will see a good one for once. Master Yi jungle can be really strong if you do just farm up properly, but if you don't get that feral flare quickly enough, you're not really doing enough damage.
Mundo does quite well against Maokai in that top lane because especially usually in the mid lane, you'll see another AP champion. So he can easily then go Spirit Visage first, and the ultimate will just do everything for him in that mid game team fight. Obviously, Spirit Visage Verse is a risky item to take, but into a double AP comp, Mundo really benefits from it. Nautilus coming out. First Nautilus we're going to see, I believe, of the tournament.
Yeah, we haven't seen Nautilus yet.
Not in our games.
Really strong.
Not in our games anyway, and he can be strong. Actually quite a strong jungle clear with his shield there, but he goes quite low. He's very easy to
especially
target.
On the first clear.
Very easy to counter invade, but then you're not really going to expect to see a Master Yi invading in the jungle.
You never know. He does have quite a lot of early game damage.
I even think if he invaded Nautilus, he'd actually lose. So I'm not too worried about seeing a Master Yi. He'll be too concerned with farming. I really hope we do see a Master Yi that does just farm for the first 15 minutes. Maybe comes in for some teleport counter damage.
Well, he's got a very safe top laner there in Mundo. That will keep. Mundo's very good at keeping himself safe in lane, and then Jinx, it depends which support we see with her. A Janna would be really good to keep her safe in lane, but against what looks like a Kog'Maw Morgana bot lane, unless that's Morgana mid.
It's going to be a Morgana mid, actually. That has been coming back. A lot of solo queue players have been playing it because she hasn't been changed, obviously, in a while. Base damages and AP ratios have been tinkered with, obviously. Whenever a champion moves to support and they've got high base damage, you suddenly feel everyone come down on the force of nature with them and say, we're going to nerf their base damages but increase their AP ratios. So if you want to play them AP, then you can. So she goes back to that mid lane and still very strong, but you have to hit the bindings and you've got to be in good positions for your soul shackles, because otherwise she's one of the champions that relies a lot on you hitting everything. Not one of the champions where you can consistently harass or
she's got a really good push though with Tormented Soul. She's going to be pushing this Vigar right back onto his tower.
It takes a while for Tormented Soul to clear a wave. It's not like having an Ahri with Orbi's Deception where you can potentially clear a wave in one sweep. It'll take 2 to 3 seconds to clear a wave out. Generally quite a good pusher with the AoE that it advises. Even if it's a massive wave that you want to clear out, probably a little bit better than things like Ahri. But yeah, Morgana mid, if she can land those bindings and gets a lot of AP, then it's going to be one dead person on the other end of it. But again, you've got to have clear minion view. You've got to make sure you're hitting the right target, and your Soul Shackles puts you right into the middle of a team fight. So she's one of those champions that's an all in or nothing. She has to get ahead to be useful. Behind Morgana mid will feel like you're sort of batting flies against a horse. Jinx and Braum in the bot lane.
Batting flies against a horse.
I don't know where that. I wasn't going anywhere with that. And Blitzcrank Kog'Maw, that's an interesting one there. Kog'Maw not considered the strongest early game. He has got a moderately decent early game. He's a bit like Tristana in the sense that got some good skills behind him, so that once he gets a couple of levels in those skills will be decent. And he's actually one of the best mid-game champions with Trinity Force. In fact, probably the best mid-game champion.
Especially with Caustic Spittle being in a
skill shot.
Skill shot, that's the one.
Yeah.
I almost said spell shot there for a second.
And also when you activate his ultimate, you can consistently proc that Sheen every time it's up. So definitely one of the strongest mid-game champions in the mode. Jinx, however, weak early game, weakish mid-game,
Very strong lane
powerful
game,
late
especially
game.
for pushing lanes. And that's going to be great with the Master Yi as well. You can split push him in one lane as long as he's got enough farm.
Yeah.
Have the Jinx pushing along with Veigar and Braum. That's such a good lock-up team comp as well. Going to be very difficult for people to counter that sort of siege. But you do have good counter push from that Morgana, as we were saying.
If anyone doesn't really, the reason Jinx excels is because she has good wave clear. Once she gets a couple of points in Fishbones and Pow Pow, she can actually start to harass a bit like a Caitlyn, especially hitting minions and getting AoE damage across. And once she hits 6, she's got a massive power spike. Her ultimate is a massive execute. Other than that, there's not much else going for her. She's got good self-peel with Flame Chompers and also Zap.
Zap can slow.
But other than that, she's really like one of these snowbally AD carries. You need to rely on picking up towers and kills. She has got the strongest tower push in the game from an AD carry though. So for taking objectives, if you do get a favourable team fight with Jinx, you can actually snowball so much off the back of that because she gets that get excited. She has the stacking attack speed buff. It's all very crazy. However, with a Cogmore and a Blitzcrank, it's going to be hard to harass because you're putting yourself in precarious positions. Cogmore also has his increased range in his Bio Arcane Barrage, so every time she steps up to use Fishbones' rockets, Cogmore cannot activate his Arcane Barrage and just trade straight back with a higher range, of course, because obviously Cogmore, at the end of the game, with Bio Arcane Barrage, has the highest AD carry range in the game.
I'm not sure about the Blitzcrank pick along with the Cogmore. It feels a little bit like they were picking Blitzcrank for, well, I can't support that much unless I play Blitzcrank.
The Blitzcrank pick here is not going to be brilliant for lane because if Braum is sensible, he'll be putting himself in between him and Jinx. It's very, very, very good in my opinion for team fights here. If they can hook Yi, if they can hook Veigar, if they can hook Jinx.
The silence as well is great on his ultimate.
Like, you can burst the Veigar down before he has a chance to either put down his ultimate, either put down his cage, anything like that. So we'll have to see. You'll have to see how he works out with that one. In the other side, that is a pick comp if I've ever seen a pick comp in my life.
Yeah.
You've got four members there, all of which can isolate and lock down a single member of the enemy target.
Well, as soon as a Twisted Advance or a Binding hits or a Hook hits, they're just locked down.
Well, they all synergize with each other. So you get a Twisted Advance that's a static member for a Hook. You get a Bind that's a static member of a Hook. You get a Hook that's a static member or a partially static member for a Bind.
Or for a Hook coming out from Nautilus.
Oh, for Nautilus as well.
All
It's just absolutely crazy the amount of single target isolation that they've got in this team. So that will be interesting. But the way that's going to work is they're going to have to go even in lane. They're going to have to get to a point where they're going to be forcing 5v5 teammates early on towards the mid game, and then start using the Blitzcrank and Nautilus to their advantage. But there is so much lockdown there in that team. On the other side, you've got sort of I can't really describe how this team comp works, except that you've got Mundo in and Yi going pretty ham in the middle, and Jinx and Veigar in the back line, using Veigar's cage to the best of their ability and trying to get resets and bursts.
If you can get a good event horizon off when the enemy team's trying to dive onto you, separate them into two separate groups, then you can do a lot of damage. But the team seems sort of more of we've got a few champions we play well, let's play them and hope it works together.
Yeah, if the blue team goes even in lane and no one gets incredibly fed, blue team's team comp will win this by far. Blue team's team comp will be amazing. If we've got an interesting display in there. If on the purple side they go really far ahead of lane and someone gets fed, they can start to actually utilize their burst. They won't get locked down easily. I would definitely give this to the purple team. The only real forms of CC that the purple team have got going for them is the Veigar cage and the Braum skill set. That's really what they've got going on. Flame Chompers are a bit unreliable. They're too easy to avoid. They take 1.5 seconds to activate. So it just depends how these lanes are going to go. If blue team get to 20 minutes, they're not too far behind, no one in the team is incredibly fed, I will give this straight over to the blue team. Purple team, if they get far ahead, they can start to utilize their burst in team fights. They can get resets with the Yi, they can get resets with the Jinx.
I think Master Yi teleport ganks are going to really dictate how this early game goes.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what a counter gank will look like from Master Yi versus a Nautilus, especially if the Nautilus has picked up a bit of HP early on.
It's going to be really interesting to see how that does go down.
Also, if there's no invade from the blue team, I feel like they're wasting so much of an opportunity here because they've got the Nautilus passive for lockdown, they've got a Blitzcrank hook, and Maokai could potentially take Twisted Advance level 1. They've got Morgana binding. Like, that spells level 1 disaster for the purple team.
I think I totally agree with you, but you have to remember when you go into those booths, it's not your setup. You have to get the mouse DPI to what you want it to. You have to get the shortcuts, if you want it on autocast or smartcast or whatever. You have to make sure you've got your trinket on the right button. Like I have my trinket on T, and they usually have it on 4. It's just sorting out everything, getting your interface size right and everything else. So I can kind of understand them not going for the invade.
Yeah, no, I do agree, but if they just managed to group up and maybe possibly even gone for a late invade, it could have worked out. But again, better to play it safe, I guess, in the early games. Sometimes invades go definitely against you. But
especially since we said blue team basically has the stronger team comp as long as they get out of lane unscathed.
The team comp's crazily good. Very, very good. There's so many stuns, so many lockups. They could potentially use a different piece of CC for the enemy team
for every
single champion in the team fight.
And that would be amazing.
It would be crazy to see. So, I mean, and again, especially against a Yi, hard CC is so imperative because obviously slows don't do anything when he's in Highlander, but snares do, stuns do, knockups do, and they've got that galore going on in the blue team. So they've got a very good team to deal with the Yi. Also, Morgana Black Shield will come so much and useful for peeling for someone in that Veigar cage. Also for delivering a safe passage for Veigar's burst, because Morgana, if she gets a good Black Shield off, will manage to negate a larger portion of Veigar's damage.
Yeah, most definitely. Both junglers going to start at the blue buffs and rotate round, so we'll see Yi hopefully, and probably just farming up the jungle as much as he can. Did get a message from him just before the game started saying that he loves us both and that he is sorry for picking Master Yi while we're casting. So
I really want him to try and see if he pulls out the Calcep rotation on the jungle. What you do is you take your buffs and you clear, and then you take your golems, you skip your you do your golems, you wraith, you skip your wolves, you go to white, and then you can rotate round to your wolves, and by the time you get back to
the wraiths are back up,
and then you skip the wraiths, you go to golems and come back to wraiths, and it's like a figure of 8. It works out. It's the quickest time you can clear the jungle and continuously clear the jungle.
It's
so
the most effective way to get the most out of your jungle, basically. We do see the lanes just matching up here. Mundo out farming Maokai at the start of the game. Kind of to be expected. Mundo has a relatively good push with those cleavers as well in the early game. Ooh, Hook just not quite connecting there. Gets that minion under the tower, and Kog'Maw's going to clean that one up.
It'll be difficult for Kog'Maw and Blitzcrank to make plays in lane, I feel. I think this Blitzcrank pick is going to come into its own into the mid game.
Yeah.
Because if you pull the Jinx, Brown could just jump to the Jinx to stand behind me, use his Unbreakable and just negate any sort of damage coming toward the Jinx. As long as Brown is in a position that he can get to her quickly. The way he wants to position, he wants to be slightly in front of Jinx in the lane. So if Jinx does get hooked, he will be able to close the distance between the two. However, if Nautilus comes into lane and they get a hook followed by a hook followed by a... which we may see now, the hook's going to be down for another 15 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, it's a long cooldown on that hook. 14 seconds left on it. Nautilus is trying to come in the side. There's the Void Use. Exhaust is going to go down on the Jinx. They're going to try and get a lot of damage down here. Kog'Maw not being the hook. There's the dredge line. Jinx tries to flash away, uses heal as well. Exhaust, will it be enough? Kog'Maw flashes in. One more also, he gets the heal. One more. Blitzcrank manages to get close enough. Kog'Maw does pick up the kill.
He does have a hook.
Does have a hook, but there are a lot of minions there. Yep, grabs a minion. And they manage to pick up the kill, burning quite a few flashes there, but do secure the first blood of the game for the blue team.
Definitely all good things for blue team right now. Going ahead, and it looks like Veigar's having a tough time against this Morgana. There's the stun cage coming out. Veigar having to use it in desperation. He's already down to very low mana. But you have to remember the thing about Veigar, he has a Chalice passive as his passive. So basically every 1% of mana he's missing regenerates, the same as a Chalice of Harmony would give him. So very interesting. I've always wondered, if you stack a Chalice of Harmony, do you get double the percentage regeneration?
When you get 1% twice, don't you?
1% twice, maybe, yeah.
So you don't technically get 2%, but it's still quite a lot of mana regeneration coming out for you there. One of the main issues with that gank was Brom had put his passive onto Kog'Maw. If he kept auto-attacking him, he would have actually got the stun off on Kog'Maw, and Jinx probably could have been able to get away, because Kog'Maw would have been a bit too slow to get in there with the exhaust on him already.
What people don't realise about Kog'Maw, he's actually a fairly safe early game AD carry, because he has the highest base health out of any of the AD carries. He's actually got higher base health than most mid laners. So he's actually a fairly tanky little void thing. Oh, Jinx getting hooked in.
Onto Jinx. He hasn't got the flash available. Kog'Maw's going to do a lot of damage. There's the Unbreakable coming out from Braum. Going to try and turn this one around. Zap does hit a minion. So Braum going very deep here. Does get the stun off. If only you'd done that before, my man, would have been able to save your AD carry. But even with a hook there, Kog'Maw took a lot of damage.
Now, Master Yi, I know he hasn't had much impact, but right now he's up about 10 CS on the Nautilus. Now 10 exactly. He'll be stacking that Feral Flare very quickly. If the purple team can stop the hemorrhaging, stop any more ganks coming out, especially in the spot lane.
Still only 200 gold as well.
Exactly. Yi will be coming firing into this mid lane, mid game. Sorry. So I'm liking this in the Yi. We're seeing a Yi that is playing a Yi well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he keeps it up.
Hoping to see Vigar get some Baleful Strike stacks as well. One of the few infinitely stacking skills in the game, along with Siphoning Strike, of course. If he can get those up to a nice high amount, he will be able to do a lot of damage, even without items as we get into the late game. Behind on CS at the moment, though, about 8 behind that Morgana.
A tip for Vigar that I read quite a while ago from Vigar Challenger player is actually you don't save your Baleful Strikes for CSing, because they're actually a very powerful harass tool. You can use your Baleful Strikes to harass and then start to build your AP later in the game. You actually get a lot of AP from killing champions.
Yeah.
So it's often more worth to use your Baleful Strike to win your lane, because Vigar has such a weak laning phase.
Yeah. As opposed to playing him sort of Nasus, where you're aiming for those stacks and trying to get yourself nice.
Because Nasus can't really use Siphoning Strike.
Jinx is not in a good position here. She's on the Voidoos, puts those Flame Chompers down. There's the hook, nicely done. Going to pull her back into range. Here comes the teleport from Master Yi. Are they going to be able to turn this one round? There's no passive there, no concussive blows onto the Cogmore, and Yi does come in. Highlander is activated. Alpha strikes in. The knock-up from Blitzcrank, though, is going to be able to knock him up with just a second. They do get the first, so reset. Cogmore will get the kill onto Braum. Master Yi's going to go in. Actually, Jinx getting taken out by the turret, and Yi goes down to Blitzcrank. Not the best coordinated gank there. 2 kills for the blue side.
I feel like the meditate was unneeded.
Yeah.
It wasted valuable mana. He didn't have it for the Alpha Strike then, and he wasn't actually being focused by the turret. He could have turned around, got some auto attacks and an Alpha Strike and picked up the kill, and potentially have gotten away as well, because obviously once you get kills, it extends Highlander's duration. So.
It was just a bit unfortunate, a bit of miscommunication. Jinx going down to the tower was very good, though, because otherwise they would have given another kill across to probably Cogmore, actually. I think she would have been the one to attack there. Cogmore has got a BF sword now, only double Dorans on that Jinx, so it's going to be difficult for her to keep going in that lane.
But that's another stack for Yi, and he's now going to go farm, maybe going to donate the blue buff away to Vigar. We'll see there. Vigar actually picking up early Sorcerer's Shoes. I've never seen that before, but...
Extra penetration can be really good. He talks about Baleful Strike. Like, he would have been better if he'd got that blue buff, but still is going to be able to do a lot of damage in that
will
lane.
help him shred through Morgana's black shield, though,
yeah.
so obviously he'll be doing more damage to that black shield. He needs to be careful, though, because Morgana hasn't backed yet. And once she starts to pick up some of her core items, once she gets that Zhonya's, she'll practically be able to solo the Vigar if she Zhonya's at the right time. Interesting gank on the Mundo, actually. He has got his ultimate up.
He has got sadism available, does pop it straight away. There is a sapling trying to slow him down. The dredge line coming in as well as that from the depths from Nautilus. He's going to get the Nautilus kill. Nicely done by him. And he is using that sadism to try and get away. Can he bait this Maokai into the Vigar?
Oh, the damage!
The flash away, and so much damage. Braum is getting taken very low. There's the living artillery from Cogmore going to pick up that kill in the bot lane, and they do just rotate out of it. But Mundo going where he pleases and picking up the kill.
Yeah, I just never understand junglers that want to gank Mundo post 6 without Ignite.
Yeah.
It's just never going to work
Never
in
going to
their
do
favor.
enough damage.
Looks like Morgana is now the chief. There's the shield coming down, but
lots of damage coming down. Primordial Massive as well, but not going to be enough to melt down that Morgana. Would have been good if he'd used that ultimate just before she walks into the event horizon, because then she would have been stunned up by that event horizon.
Oh, the great
hook onto Jinx again. Only level 5 on that Jinx. Look at the damage from Cog. Flashes the living artillery, manages to keep herself alive. And Yi is trying to counter jungle here, but he's been spotted out. Depth charge is not available for Nautilus for another good few seconds. So Yi's going to try and run between these two towers. Can he make it? Yes, he can. But will he be able to get all the way out? Because there is a Morgana covering her tracks. Maokai has not rotated yet down from that top lane.
I think he's going to execute.
What are you doing here?
He's going to execute.
You're going for the execute. He's going to lose double buffs for this, though.
Yeah, but he's taken the double buffs away, well, the buff away from Nautilus. He gave blue buff away to Morgana. So actually probably the most sensible thing he could have done in that situation. But he's going to lose 14 seconds of valuable farming time. That's enough time to get 2 stacks on his Feral Flare. So again, maybe not the best point of call for him. Gotta say this Cogmore,
19 stacks already.
19 stacks at 10 minutes is very good. It means he'll be able to hit Feral Flare around the 15 to 17 minute mark, which is usually a very good time to be hitting it.
Vigar trying to come into a gank on the bot lane, but there is a ward spotting him out. He's just going to rotate back up towards mid, meeting up with Morgana.
I'm interested to see how much Morgana's gold value is right now, because she's not been back yet. She's got 2,200, so she could pick up needlessly large and a bit of Seeker's Armguard, or she could go for the Rod of Ages route. That's a bit of an old school Morgana build. We'll have to see.
We were talking about, you said how Master Yi had denied this red buff from Nautilus, but Nautilus just counter jungled and got the red buff back for himself anyway. So nicely played by him to understand that that red buff must still be available. Takes it away from the Master Yi and it's going to push him just ever so slightly behind.
Yeah, Kog'Maw right now wasting a lot of his mana on his ultimates. Obviously, you stack the mana cost. This is a bit like Kassadin's ultimate.
Yeah.
Concurrent use of your ultimate means it costs more mana, and he's actually using a lot of it. Now that Bioarcane Barrage costs no mana to cast now, he's a lot more valuable though with low mana. So.
Yeah. Should be spamming that W as much as you can in lane. Gets a lot of harass down from it as well. He is just ahead in CS in that lane. Obviously has those 3 kills. That's pushing him ahead in the gold generally. Pickaxe picked up on Jinx, so she's still quite a way behind on AD in that bottom lane, but it's 4 kills to 2. The gold is perfectly even at the moment. Mundo is going very deep onto this map.
No mana on Maokai.
Maokai went for Chain Vest first, and that's not paying off for him at all. Look at the damage. Arcane Smash is going to knock him back, and these minions actually going to save his life, but I'm really not sure about Chain Vest first.
It's an interesting choice. Now, Mundo is what you'd consider majority magic damage, but he does have an ability which gives him a massive boost in attack damage.
Yeah.
Masochism gives a massive boost in attack damage. If he is leveling that first, Mundo does a ton of AD damage, and actually Chain Armor is not a bad pickup, but you've got to really try to think that Mundo's mainly are going to level
the Infected Cleaver.
Infected Cleaver first. In the meantime, we've got a bit of an engage in this bot lane.
Hook onto the bomb, here it comes Nautilus as well. He's going to pop the exhaust down onto Kog'Maw, but Jinx is just farming under the tower. And it's a killing spree for Kog'Maw. Jinx nowhere near the same wavelength as her support there.
Yeah, I feel like she was way back off. Braum was a little bit too far forward, and then Nautilus was there in the right time. You saw the beautiful use of what we like to call Hook City, and tons of hooks coming through. And there's another hook!
Another hook. This Blitzcrank is on form at the moment. The Flame Chompers go down, but those are not going to save your life. Just going to cremate your corpse after it goes down. Lots of damage going on to Morgana. Here comes the Soul Shackles as well. This is dead Vigar. Is Ignite going to tick? Not enough, and Morgana manages to escape. Blue team are turning this game in their favour. Well,
this can only go better for them the further the game goes on right now, because unless Master Yi can come out and do some real magic, he may take Dragon here potentially.
Just getting the ward down on it.
Unless he can come out and do some real magic in this mid game, everything's going very badly for the Purple team. They've still got a Mundo, but you've got to remember that Kog'Maw is probably the best AD carry against the Mundo in the game.
He definitely is, especially since he'll be going back and picking up that Infinity Edge very, very soon. 2,500 gold on him. That is a very big lead, and it's the entire lead for the blue team.
I mean, like I said, I think if blue team do well, they're only going to do even better come mid game. It's going to take a lot for purple team to come back into this. The fact that Kog'Maw is so fed, already has an Infinity Edge at 13 minutes, is going to be terrible, because he just absolutely wrecks. Now, Infinity Edge is actually an interesting first item choice of Kog'Maw, because he benefits so much from a Trinity Force into Blade with the Ruin King build.
He does, he definitely does.
I'm guessing he's just trying to snowball off the top of this.
I think the thing is, Blade of the Moon King and Triforce are really strong, but it's quite a lot of gold to invest. If you want an early game damage spike, Infinity Edge is always the way to go. Used to be Bloodthirster, but now it's Infinity Edge.
Infinity Edge does give you the best early flat damage spike, but you've got to remember how much Kog'Maw benefits from the Sheen passive on the Trinity Force. He can actually probably do more damage, I would say. Because obviously he has a couple of AP scaling skills too. Oh, Braum forced a flash here.
Has to flash away. Got caught up in a dark binding there, and the dredge line was coming into him as well. He's sort of gone for more roaming support now, because they know they can't face up against that Kog'Maw and Blitzcrank. Tower already down for them as well in that bot lane. So Braum trying to play some wards across the map and just trying to help out his team as much as he can, knowing that he really can't help his AD carry. There are 2 levels advantage here in the top lane. That is a massive gold difference as well. 60 CS and 1,200 gold. That's huge.
Yeah, the thing also about Kog'Maw going Infinity Edge is that he likely will be fine when there's no mana. Oh my word.
Look at that damage. Braum is not in a good place. The hook is there, and it comes in straight away. Uses the Glacial Fissure, but that is a very dead Moustache, and he's not going to be able to keep that one alive for long.
Because no one's building any armor, this is great for Kog'Maw. If some people were building armor, Infinity Edge becomes less viable.
Yeah.
But there's so much magic resist that actually Kog'Maw going Infinity Edge is not too bad of a thing. And also because he's so far ahead, it just doesn't matter anymore, you know.
The Feral Flare has been fully stacked here by Master Yi, so he is getting that advantage now as much as he can.
The magic number for Yi is 30 Feral Flare stacks. Okay. So you need to get another 30 on top of the 30 you take to build the Feral Flare.
So it's currently on 1.
Yeah, he's currently on 1, so he's going to take another 29 times.
They're going to go for this Maokai, I think.
As long as they don't lose the middle tower too soon, Yi will have a fine time farming in the jungle. If they lose that mid tower, which looks like that's where the rotation is coming out, that'll be very difficult for him to continue to stack, because there'll be free access into the jungle for ward coverage, and he can be caught out time and time again.
Well, Master Yi showing in the top lane gives this dragon away to the blue team. There's no way.
Oh my word, that's a teleport.
He's coming
now.
in with a teleport. It's a bit mistimed. Yeah, there he goes. Gets straight caught in the dark binding. Alpha Strike comes out. He's exhausted as well. Here's Mundo as well. Are they going to be able to do anything with this? Dragon does go down to Nautilus. Braum coming across as well. The Master Yi kill, of course, is picked up by Morgana. She gets Vigar as well, and Braum is not in a good position. So Jinx just not joining up with her team, and that is a 3 kills there for the blue team. That's huge.
I mean, that could have potentially been good for the purple team if they'd teleported at the same time. Yeah. Maybe if Mundo had even teleported first, taken the CC damage straight away, Yi came in and possibly got the smite. Yi actually didn't die at a time where I mean, he could have smited and stolen that, but unfortunately Nautilus just way ahead of him on his smite. Nautilus already picking up a lot of armor against this team, which will be pretty decent with a Yi and a Jinx, but Jinx is now so far behind that I don't know how much it's going to matter anyway.
She only has that pickaxe and cloak of agility, not even near a completed infinity edge. That's a good 1,800 to 2,000 gold away from it.
Yeah, and now that mid lane tower's gone, Yi is going to find it very tough to start to stack his Feral Flare. If the blue team want, they can easily move into their jungle because they're so strong, ward up the entrances, and as soon as Yi shows himself to farm specific camps, they can catch him out very easily.
He's been playing well with getting that farm on, but just not quite backed up by that bot lane. 7-1-2 now on the Kog'Maw. Blitzcrank has picked up a mana moon.
Well,
that's a confident Blitzcrank right there.
Yeah, usually you'd probably see Archangels because it's good. But anyway, it looks like he is coming in for a gank. He has got that red buff.
Yeah, red buff is slowing Maokai as much as he can. Maokai does have the flash available, but Alpha Strike kept until the end by Yi. Nicely done by him. That's going to be a good kill. And he picks up his second kill of the game. Nautilus being chased off here by Braum. Not going to follow it up too much. Winter's Bite does connect, but going to have to back away now.
I really like that Yi.
Yeah.
Usually Yi's will just randomly use Alpha Strike, but he waited until the flash came out, knew that it was a good gap closer, popped that Highlander too. Ooh, but it does look like there is going to be a potential catch out on the Braum yet again. He's 0-5. This won't be too happy for him.
If he gets Yi round the side, he can do a stand beside me onto the Yi, but actually just manages to back off Mundo there as well to help him out, so they decide not to go too deep on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been bad for Braum. Managed to get out, had good team support there from the Mundo too. He's still very tanky. Mundo now ideally needs to go straight for some serious armor. Yeah. Needs to go for a Randuin's.
Randuin's would be great.
He could potentially even go for a Thornmail and he'd be okay because he's got quite a lot of health regeneration and a good amount of magic resist too. And I actually don't think Thornmail will be too bad of a pickup for him considering how far Kog'Maw is ahead. Early Thornmails on a tank actually really put the AD carry under stress on the targets they want to attack. And you got to remember, Mundo does percentage health-based damage with his infected cleaver and has a flat AD boost of about 80, I believe it is, for Masochism. So
if you get it to high level, usually you don't level that one up first, though.
No, there's so many build paths on Mundo. When Mundo was popular in the jungle, you'd level his W up first.
Burning Agony, yeah.
And then in the top lane, you obviously started to level his infected cleaver. Usually you'd go infected cleaver, masochism, and then burning agony, because the actual damage of burning agony is not that high. It's better for clearing waves, it's better for extended team fights, but obviously Mundo at this point is not going to survive long enough to make use of a leveled burning agony, so he'd be better off leveling masochism.
Well, he has gone for burning agony second actually. 3 stacks into that already and only 2 into the masochism, so trying to get that agony on, making this tree worry about burning down. That was awful.
I'm not sure I'm going to get it. You should just hang your head in shame. That wasn't a great pun. In the meantime, though, we need to check how Vigar is doing with these stacks. I can't see.
Vigar's stacks don't show up on the
they don't show up on the spectator client. Well, hopefully he's having a good time there. Comes the binding out. He's going to be bound up for a little bit. Already caught up. Just going to flash as the sight of the Nautilus comes out. Braum, you are in a bad position.
Braum is in an awful position. Lots of damage coming down onto the Nautilus. Jinx is here. Here comes Master Yi as well. Soul Shackles does connect onto 2. Here's Yi. Is he going to be able to get enough damage down? No, he goes down very quickly to that Kog'Maw. Jinx is there as well. Look at the damage from Kog'Maw. 2 auto attacks, takes down half of someone's HP. And there it is. Living Artillery picks up the triple kill for Kog'Maw. 10, 1, and 12 on 2 on him at the moment. And Blitzcrank making some great hooks there as well.
I've been very impressed with Kog'Maw's actual small skirmish mechanics. His CS has not been too high, but he's been spending so much time farming champions. He's been less time to farm the minions, but his mechanics as an AD carry, top notch.
Yeah,
really well played.
Really good. Timing everything superbly. Master Yi again came into that fight and really just didn't do as much damage as you'd expect him to. As soon as he comes out of that alpha strike, he just gets locked down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point. That's what we talked about, the amount of CC coming out from the blue team. Master Yi is not going to last long unless he comes into an already potentially dead. It looks like Mundo is trying. I mean, I think Blitzcrank possibly thought he had more backup than he did, and he's actually going to get chased down here.
But Nautilus and Morgana and Maokai are coming across. He's going to die before any of them get there, and it's a little bit silly. Dredgeline does come in right at the end. Is Morgana going to be able to come across onto this one? Satan's being popped. Dodges
nice
the
dodge.
dark binding. Twisted advance on him under the tower. They're going to dive this. I really don't think you should dive in Mundo because Vigar's coming in the side as well. 15 kills to 4, and Mundo, the last remaining hope for his team.
Yeah, Mundo's actually been playing really well. Got to remember, when Burning Agony is active, you actually get tenacity boosts. So he did a good job of dodging that binding, and then even though he had a twisted advance on top of him, broke it very quickly because he very, very smartly popped his Burning Agony. Look like they're going to try and take this turret with the Yi ultimate there. Not going to get it in time as Morgana and Nautilus are too much of a threat here, and they're going to back away. What is Yi on in his stacks now?
Yi has a bunch of stacks at the moment, sitting on 8, which is
8.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
It's a bunch,
but it's not as many as you'd want him to be on.
Is it not as many as she needs to be at this point in time? He needs to start possibly focusing on farming again, but right now, because of how far behind his lanes are,
Look
my
at the damage!
jinx.
That was 400 damage.
He's losing a lot of his jungle to his own team because they're so far behind. Jinx!
Sereno goes down to the legendary Cogmore. Just didn't predict that he would.
Cogmore going to get caught out here.
Yeah,
He
this
gets the
is going to be
shutdown.
a lot of gold going across to one member of the team. Vigar gets it, and that's a good target as well. He's got that Rod of Ages building up. He's almost got his Zhonya's as well. Maokai is not having any fun with the previous world winners here in Mundo. Is he actually going to go down? He does go down to tower the flash. Not quite enough to get him away. But is this going to be a dragon for the red side?
He brought Morgana and Nautilus to the top lane by going so aggressive, and this is going to be a free dragon. Good play for the purple team here. The smite comes out very early.
I know they wanted to give the stacks to Vigar.
The stacks of Vigar, obviously. That's all calculated.
Very much planned by
Vigar. But then you're missing a stack for Yi.
That's true.
So you're sort of the war of the stacks there. And I'm not sure a stack of feral player is worth a single stack of Baleful Strike. But
I realised I said Morgana's items when I was talking about Vigar's items. Vigar only has a needlessly large rod and a blasting wand. Doesn't have that Rabadon's yet. Morgana has a Rod of Ages. Almost got the Zhonya's.
I honestly didn't even pick up on what you said. That shows you how much I listen to you. And Rod of Ages and Zhonya's
damage coming down onto this Morgana. She's popped a spell shield. Look at that, half her health from that Primordial Burst. But that is a kill for Blitzcrank. The Glacial Fish is not really going to do much here, and Braum gets exhausted as well. He's going to go down. Cogmore pounding away. So much damage from that Living Artillery. Gets his first kill after having come back from the dead. They're going to push down this mid lane. 19 kills to 6 now for the blue team. They are going for this inhibitor turret.
I do like the Blade of the Ruin King already because it's so good for dealing with this Mundo.
Yeah, one hook lands there onto the Mundo. There is the dredge line as well. So much damage onto him, and he's going to go down there to the Nautilus, actually picking that up with red buff. And that is the big target here for the purple team, going down very, very quickly. And another hook onto Master Yi, who is meditating. Blitzcrank with the massive plays picks up a good kill for his team. They're going to go for the tower now. Blitzcrank is huge. He's got his Mana Moon, and he also has 145 AD. If we compare that to Jinx, Jinx is only on 199. Nautilus almost misses the dredge line there, almost connects with it. Sorry, Winter's Bite misses. They get the turret. They can go for the inhibitor next time after they've all got a little bit of health back, and they do get the turret in the top lane as well.
I mean, this is why Yi is now going to struggle to farm his stacks, because there's so much happening around the mid lane that he's always going to be caught out if he's trying to come out of his jungle. There's only 2 exits that are safe for him at this point. These are the exits closest to the wall, and this is going to be a Baron. There's no vision and no reaction from the purple team. So
Baron goes down very, very quickly.
I mean, with Cogmore, so much damage to that Baron.
Maokai there as well, just to keep the tank on, because otherwise they would have been a little bit closer dying, but they will get this Baron uncontested. Cogmore will help them pick it up quickly, as you said. Now, a Frozen Fist, an Iceborne Gauntlet, has been going to be the second item out here from Maokai.
It's a fairly common item, especially when your team are doing well. Wouldn't recommend it if your team are doing badly, but again, he has, unlike the Rammus that we saw earlier, Maokai has got quick cooldowns on his skills. They're all very easily spammable, especially Arcane Smash that slows and allows him to auto-attack straight afterwards, giving him the ability to slow even further with the AoE from the Iceborne Gauntlet. So I like the pickup of the Iceborne Gauntlet on Maokai.
8,000 gold is the difference. Randuin's picked up by that Mundo as well, so he's going to be helping his team out ever so slightly. The Rabidon's Death Cap has been immediately followed by a Negatron Cloak here from Vigar. He
Potentially
is so
going for an
scared.
Abyssal Scepter, or more than likely going to go for an early Banshees so he can stop getting caught in the binds. Banshees are literally the pinnacle of the defensive item that you need in the purple side, but I almost feel like it's a little bit too late for them now, because Kog'Maw is just that far ahead. He's now going for a Phantom Dancer. He's going to skip the Trinity Force completely. Once he gets that Phantom Dancer, he's going to be doing tons of damage.
So much damage coming out from him. 12, 2, and 5. Credit to the Blitzcrank as well. 2, 1, and 15. He's played a superb game. Picked up his Talisman now, building towards that Iceborne Gauntlet as well. Vigar is not in a good position here. Kog'Maw there. The hook actually misses, but 2 shots from Kog'Maw, and that is a dead Vigar flashes at the end as well.
You could just see that he could not move anywhere with that. He was basically locked up by the Nautilus, hooked by the Nautilus. He could have been hooked by the Blitzcrank. Single target isolation from this team is out of this world. Great dodge by the Mundo there.
Misses the hook ever so slightly. Winter's Bite does come out, but 2 auto attacks takes half of Braum's health, and Braum's meant to be one of your tanks. You're not really able to do much against that Kog'Maw. They're going to go for the inhibitor now. Can they go for anything more out of it? Just miss on the binding and the hook. Jinx able to escape, but she's 0-5-1, only picked up an Infinity Edge, so she's a good item and a half behind this Kog'Maw at the moment.
Probably even more so that Kog'Maw ideally now probably has the amount of gold to finish off that Phantom Dance. So probably going to be a full 2 items behind. I mean, 12-1 and 12-2 and 6 compared to 0-5-1, you probably wouldn't expect any less. Blitzcrank getting a nice ward that will be spotted out by the turret, but definitely wants to bait someone into taking out when he's going to hook the Mundo.
Hooks the Mundo. Probably not the best target in the world. Can't really slow him by too much. Voids Ooze does come out. Look at the damage. Dear me, Kog'Maw does a huge amount at the moment. Event Horizon across the wall going to slow up that blitz, but not really.
Oh, Master Yi in the bot lane.
Master Yi actually teleported in there to get them out. Kai'Sa, who missed that, guys, picks up a kill for himself. Super Mega Death Rocket is going to connect, but
they're stopping the
backs. Has
backs.
it actually connect? Like, it's done no damage whatsoever. They're stopping the backs for this Yi, who is trying to push, but you're not really going to get a huge amount out of this. And it looks like Vigar might be in a bad position, getting caught out. Oh, Blitzcrank with a flash hook. Rampage for Morgana. Blitzcrank's going to help the Kog'Maw pick up a kill here. Yi is still going for the split push, but Morgana getting another kill for her team there onto that Braum.
This is the best thing that Yi can do to help his team right now. He's got to try and push these turrets down, maybe go for the backdoor attempt on the inhibitor. Because right now he's probably the strongest member of his team. He's picked up a Ghost Blade as well. Still no boots for the Yi, so he's I swear he had a Berserker's Greave early in the game.
Yeah, I think he did. Maybe he sold it to pick up that Yumu's.
But this
the
could be the
first
end of the
Nexus tower
game.
is going down. Mundo's trying to fight off against 2 here. Jinx and Master Yi have respawned. Mundo actually flashing away from his Nexus to try and keep his team in it at the moment. He should be able to run away with the Sadism passive on, but just dodging as much as he can. Blitzcrank will have the hook available any second now, and Morgana and Nautilus
the dodges
are
by
casting him off
Mundo.
the bottom. So many dodges. He will keep his team alive for another few minutes, but I'm not sure how long it's actually going to last.
Yeah, now so what I think Yi now picked up another set of Berserker's Greaves. I think he sold it to finish his Yumu's Ghost Blade, but may not have been totally worth it. In the meantime, the blue team can just force their way down. They're just that strong, and they look like they're going to go for the kill.
Glacial Fish actually hitting up 3 people there, but there is the depth charge onto Jinx in the backline. Nice launches into Soul Shackles, but here comes Yi. Picks up 1. Is he going to pick up 2? So much damage. He does get the double kill. Super Mega Death Rocket comes in as well. Almost gets a triple. Morgana going very low in the backline. Nautilus is still tanking up 2 here. Jinx doing hardly any damage at all. Going to try and get the kill there. Locked up Vigar as well, but that is a shutdown. And a good turnaround there for the red team.
Yi has got so many good chase down items and single target damage items that he can actually get on top of the Kog'Maw
17 stacks.
And burst him fairly easily. Now, if he could pick up maybe some flat damage off the back of this, Yi will be very, very strong.
Oh,
and
definitely.
If he's not locked down, he wasn't locked down that team fight, he can solo this Kog'Maw, which is the mainstay of the damage from this blue team. Morgana obviously doesn't have damage that can come across in constant waves. You have to, all of Morgana's damage is in a singular burst. Then you've got to wait for a whole new rotation to come out as well. But like we saw, majority of the purple team were completely locked up for the majority of that fight. Soul Shackles, depth charge, hooks coming in left, right, and center. Half of them were doing nothing. All at the moment it's just Yi going in and trying to do as much damage as he can.
But if you can dodge that initial set of CC, he can run riot amongst this purple team, blue team. Dear me, get my colours right eventually. Amongst the blue team, the problem for them is though Maokai was nowhere near that last fight. He had to teleport up, could have teleported into it, decided against it. If he's there for the next one, they're really going to have another set of CC to
the vengeful Maelstrom, people underestimate how much damage reduction that actually
20% damage reduction.
20% damage reduction is massive for the protection of the Cogmore. You got to basically saying that Yi has got to spend 20% more time to kill that Cogmore. So there we are. That is a Banshee's Veil coming out for Vigar, by the way.
Vigar, he is still sitting on 367 AP because of that Baleful Strike. He gets a lot of extra AP from that, but it's not really what you want to be doing, building a second item defensive as a mid laner. I
still, 367 AP is all well and good, but he's got very little magic penetration and nothing else, no defensive items. He has to hit everything, and Morgana right now, she's got a ton of AP. That Black Shield will be negating the majority of the damage from the Vigar also.
Yeah. It definitely will be. 45 seconds until this Baron is back up, and we'll see if the blue team do decide to rotate towards it again and secure it for themselves. Cogmore has that Phantom Dancer now, has a lot of damage. Master Yi
he's going in for the solo.
The Cogmore. Can he solo?
He does!
He can! Super Mega Death Rocket does come in. I thought that was from the blue team for a second. Cogmore explodes. And if he can keep doing that, it's going to be a great advantage for his team. But I don't see Cogmore splitting again.
No, I don't see Cogmore being away from his team the next time out. He's been caught out once. He probably won't be caught out again. I don't know what Yi's going to go for with this pickaxe. Ideally, go for an Infinity Edge.
Last Whisper.
I mean, it could be a Last Whisper. I kind of like the idea of a Last Whisper here, but the Infinity Edge will be better for the Cogmore, dealing with the Cogmore. You'd need the Last Whisper to deal with everybody else, I guess. But you do get true damage from Master Yi.
Yeah.
He does give true damage on activation on his Wuju style, indeed. So
that he does, but will be interesting to see how he does decide to keep building. Baron is live. Cogmore will be alive in 2 seconds. And will we see a team fight coming out? Master Yi split pushing again.
Interestingly enough, the gold difference is actually not that great.
It's only 8,000. It's hardly
considering how one-sided you think this is, they're actually starting to claw back a little bit of the gold.
There was a Baron ping there from the blue team. They've seen Master Yi bot. They're pinging him out as well. Cogmore's going to rotate down towards that. And that actually could be really, really good here for the purple team. If they get Cogmore down in their bot side of the map, then they can use Master Yi and Mundo's double teleport to get onto that Baron really quickly. But they haven't got vision of it at the moment.
Yeah, but you got to remember that just if the blue team does group up and force a fight, Master Yi will...
Master Yi's teleporting in. They're going for the Baron.
This is scary because there is a pink ward.
There's a pink ward. Mundo actually gets hooked in off to the side of this all. He's going to use that Satan to try and get away. He's got exhausted as well. Dark Binding lands onto him. Nautilus is joining up the fight across here as well. They're going to go for the Baron. They're going to keep going.
Is it going to be so close? Stolen.
Nautilus, he does steal it with the smite. Master Yi's smite was ages too early. Blitzcrank picks up a kill. Bomb's going to go down as well. And that is not good at all. Here comes Cogmore. Mundo, he doesn't go where he pleases unless he wants to go back to the fountain when he respawns.
Master Yi suffering from a case of St. Vicious. He's just smiting way too early every time and has been doing all game.
It's got to be GG.
This is undoubtedly going to be GG to the blue team here. And like I said, once they group up, they will lose fights. Just
Morgana flashed the wall, which is a no joke there. They're going to be able to pick up this Nexus turret. Jinx is going to get locked up as well. Look at the damage. Vigar is there as well, already on half HP, but one shot from Cogmore gets the kill. They get the second Nexus turret, and they're going to take the Nexus down. All credit to blue team, well played by them. 30 kills to 11 at the end. And commiserations, of course, to Jinx and the red team.
Yeah, I think MVP personally, Blitzcrank. Those hooks
Blitzcrank played amazing.
Those hooks are out of this world. Cogmore played brilliantly, but set up by Blitzcrank every time. So we're going to hand over to our presenter and Riot Bolton over on the side to congratulate the winners, which is the blue side.
Thanks, guys. That was an awesome game. Awesome stuff, as usual. Did you get a bit of that game, and what did you think of it?
I just think when you get a really strong team fight like that, and you get the steals you need, and you get the plays you need, teamwork is obviously the way to victory, like every time.
Absolutely. The synergy was so good on the blue side. Let's see the winners. Let's bring them out of the booth. I know it gets hot and sweaty in there, so I'm sure they'll be wanting to come out. Well done, guys. Give them a round of applause. Who was the Blitzcrank, by the way? That was the most manly performance I've ever seen on a Blitzcrank before. Well done, my friend. These guys are going to get some nice swag, some arcade Hecarim, and some Riot Point vouchers. If you guys want to get involved, make sure you scream and shout when we are getting more people into the booths. And you could win yourselves some of this stuff. We'll also be giving away t-shirts and some prizes in giveaways very, very soon. So I'm going to quickly head over to the other side of the booth while those guys finish up. If you don't know, we are Gfinity. We can host League of Legends tournaments and cups for you on our website, gfinity.net. If you're a League of Legends fan, you want to get involved, make sure you head over to gfinity.net. So let's let the losers come out of the booth. Let's give them a round of applause. They did a great job. Well done, my friend. Who was the Mundo, by the way? Who was the Mundo? Him. That was a great performance from Mundo. Great performance all round. Well done, my friend. Well, they're getting some cupcakes and some codes. Don't even have to win. You just get codes for playing. That's what I like. I'm not very good at the game, so I love some free stuff. Anyway. Well, let's give them another round of applause. We're going to have some more games going on. We're not going to be finished yet. There's still a load of games to go. We hope you'll be right back to join us after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
Hello.